The NCA statement came before we heard from the minister. There had been a meeting at which we were told that the conclusion was that the MNOs will give some priority when it comes to the bandwidth to the financial services, but also the public utilities because of their critical nature. Where are we in terms of implementing that new, I guess, policy in the midst of this crisis?
So thank you very much, Evans. It's important that the critical infrastructure gets data to be able to do their work. But then the interesting thing is that it would also take customers to interface with that critical infrastructure. So as the NCA asks for extra bandwidth for these critical infrastructure, it is not to also take away from what customers have. So you can see as the days go by that extra capacity is being added and connectivity is being restored gradually. So what would happen is to add on more for these critical infrastructure, which would really, it's a difficult thing to do, trying to separate all of them, but also ensuring that you also carry the customers also along, because it would come to naught if you were able to provide, say, the banks with good infrastructure for their services to be up. But then when it comes to the banking customers' ability to be able to access these infrastructure, they will be found wanting. So work would be done as we roll on more bandwidth capacity to ensure that these critical infrastructure have enough to be able to stay up and available to their customers, and also ensure that if Ghana Water was up, if ECG was up, you, the consumer who also needed to go and get some top up to ensure that you had utility services, you also were getting it.
Okay, so there's a very interesting balancing act you need to do. Critical services, you need to get the bandwidth, but also you need to also meet the customers' needs. But you have an acute shortage of bandwidth, and so you have to play within what you have. Although the policy says give the critical services a bit more focus, I also need to understand where are we tonight in terms of the connectivity percentage for the entire country. I mean, the Bloomberg and Co were reporting at 24%.
I would have to get that data for you. I'm pretty sure we should be able to get that to us tomorrow. But the interesting thing is that you find out that the best measure for all of us is the fact that as of this evening, we're able to sit and do Zoom via videos. We all have our videos. We are able to really stream video. That tells you that the level of connectivity is improving. On Thursday, you would not even have been able to do a voice, and so the details the devil is in the detail. It's in our ability to be able to experience it, and that is the focus of industry. The focus is that as we wait for those 4 cables that have been cut to be brought upstream, what do we do to be able to get capacity from other places to be able to show what we have almost to what we had before we went down, so that by the time these 4 cables come up, all we have to do is to swap for where we are going to take capacity from and bring these up on stream.